Hey, what's going on there, guys? Welcome to part 3 of my entire Blu-ray collection video. Sorry I haven't gotten this part 3 uploaded over the past couple of days. I've been having some issues with YouTube. I've been trying to upload the video at least a couple of times. I keep saying fail to upload. I don't know. Don't ask. So this is my second opportunity to record this part of the entire video. So let's not worry about that right now. Let's talk about all the goodness here I want to share with you guys in my Blu-ray collection here. So let's dive into it, guys, and share with you guys what I got. We got Oculus, surprisingly a good horror film that really surprised me. We got 1 Hour Photo, one of the creepiest movies. I mean, Robin Williams was really, really creepy in that movie. Then we got The Others, Over the Top. Ooh, ooh, ooh! Winner takes all, loser takes the fall. Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure. It's a fun movie. I don't care what you say. Then we have Pacific Rim. Pretty cool robots movie. I saw this back in 2013. Back in, I think it was July of 2013, if I remember. And really cool movie. Great special effects. I've only watched it once on Blu-ray, and again, that was just when I got it back in 2013. And I haven't seen it since then, so it's been about 3 years, but pretty cool movie. I really enjoyed it. They got a sequel coming out with that pretty soon. I think in the next couple of years, I should say. Then we have The Patriot, one of my all-time favorite movies. I like movies that take you back in time, sort of like Braveheart, Gladiator do, and this movie certainly does that for me. But the only thing I think was with this movie, I think it's a little bit inaccurate on its history. If you check this film out, I'm sure you probably understand what I'm saying, but still an awesome film. Mel Gibson is obviously tremendous in that. Then we have The Perks of Being a Wallflower, a surprisingly really good film. Pineapple Express. The Place Beyond the Pines, another surprising film that came out in 2013. This was a movie I thought, I guess my projection was I thought it was going to be mostly Bradley Cooper, chasing to get after Ryan Gosling throughout this film, but you only get that for like 5 minutes in this film, surprisingly. I don't want to spoil too much about it, but it is a spectacular film. I highly recommend. It's kind of like there's like 3 different stories into one movie. If you see it, you'll understand what I'm saying. But great film, spectacular performances by Gosling and Bradley Cooper. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, one of my all-time favorites, classic John Candy film. My grandfather and I used to watch that film all the time when we were when I was a kid. We're big John Candy fans. Then we have Point Break, the only Point Break movie that exists in my brain. Then we have The Poseidon Adventure. Get to the chopper! Predator, one of my all-time favorite action movies. What can I say about it? It's just one of the best, and the only Predator movie that exists in my brain as well. Primal Fear, one of my all-time favorites. This movie, if you want to see a movie, a great thriller with a great twist, this is one I highly recommend. Edward Norton, in my opinion, this is his best performance in this movie. Richard Gere, I'm not a big fan of as an actor, but I actually respect him in this. I thought he was pretty good. But, yeah, great movie and a really good twist. I highly recommend you guys to check that out if you haven't seen that. The Princess Bride, classic. Prisoners, one of my all-time favorites. This is a film I saw, when I saw the trailer for this, my first reaction was I thought it was going to be a silly movie. And, a mediocre, silly movie, I guess I would say. And guys, I went and saw this movie, and man, did this movie leave me in a loss of words. Like, I walked out of this, and this movie had such an impact on me. Hugh Jackman obviously is phenomenal. Best performance by him so far. What's his name? Jake Gyllenhaal. I'd never been a big fan of him until I saw him in this movie. He was incredible in this. And, this film too, guys, I'll tell you, if you're a parent out there, and if you've seen this movie, I wonder what you're thinking yourself. You question yourself, what would I do in a situation like that if my kid got kidnapped? What would I do, to sacrifice myself to just find my kid? But yeah, powerful movie, great movie. It's one of my all-time favorites too. The cinematography is phenomenal too, guys. It's one of the best movies with cinematography. We have Prometheus. Then we have Public Enemies. The Punisher. Another one of my favorite thrillers of all time, Ransom. Highly recommend this movie too. Mel Gibson's phenomenal. Garrett Sinise, a.k.a. Lieutenant Dan, he is phenomenal. This might have been his best performance I've ever seen by him. Highly recommend check that out. Give me back my son! Then we have The Relic, a terrible horror film. Then we have The Reef, probably only the one of 3 great shark movies I've ever seen. And of course, the other one, we know Jaws is obviously the best. But the other one I just saw recently, The Shallows, was really good. But this is a good one, too. You guys like shark movies, I recommend that, too. That's a good one. Real Steel. Now, one of my favorite movies of the year. I'm sure, it's been talked about. It's no question one of the best movies of the year so far, guys, and that is The Revenant. It's going to go down as one of my favorite movies at the end of the year. Now, even though it's a 2015 movie, it came out in 2016. So it will be on my top list. But, yeah, if you guys ever check this out, great movie. Cinematography is phenomenal. What can I say? It's a powerful movie. Revolutionary Road. Oh, one of the creepiest movies of all time, guys. The Ring. Everybody talks about that one scene where that girl's, coming out of the TV like this, all wet. Yes, that's creepy. But I'll tell you the one part of this movie that got me when I saw this as a kid was when the mother's talking to Naomi Watts about her daughter getting killed, and she says to her, "I saw my daughter's face when she died." And all of a sudden they have that quick, flashback scene where the girl's in the closet going like this. And I'm just like, whoa, holy shit. But yeah, creepy movie. One of my favorite horror films of all time. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, surprisingly good remake. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which I actually like a little bit more. Risky Business. Roadhouse. Oh my gosh, this is one of the worst movies of all time, but yet one of the funnest. What can I say about it? Patrick Swayze. Gotta like it. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, not only one of my all-time favorite movies, but by far the only best live version Robin Hood movie of all time. And yeah, great movie, and I know people complain about, Kevin Costner not doing an English accent. Oh well, he did it. The movie was incredible, too. Then we have The Rock. Yo, Adrian, it's Rocky. One of the all-time best franchises. Obviously, the first one is still the best, in my opinion. Love Rocky 2. Rocky 3, a little too cheesy, but then again, they're all cheesy. But the third one, I'm just not a big fan of. Rocky 4, my gosh, that movie has probably by far the best soundtrack to any film I've seen in a long time. Rocky 5, obviously, is not very good. And what was the other one? Rocky Balboa, which returns to the dramatic side, but still a very good film. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Oh, one of my favorite films of the years, guys. Room. Another powerful movie, guys. Highly recommend this film if you guys ever check this out. Brie Larson won Best Actress, and she certainly deserved it. And a kid, what's the kid's name in this movie here? Jacob Tremblay, I think his name. This kid deserves to get a nomination. This kid was incredible in this movie. I don't know why he didn't get it, guys. You check it out, you'll understand where I'm going with that. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, classic Christmas movie. I love watching every year. We have The Rundown. Rush Hour. I'm losing it here. The Sandlot. Classic childhood favorite right there. Santa Claus, another favorite Christmas movie I love watching. Saving Private Ryan. By far, still this day, my favorite war movie. Probably one of my top 2 favorite Steven Spielberg films of all time. I went and saw this film, guys, with my grandfather back in 1998, I think it was. And it was the very first film, a war film I've ever seen. Like, when I was in school, I was seeing black and white films. But this movie, I can't tell you guys how much this movie impacted me. I mean, I was at a loss for words after that first scene on the beach scene. Man, it was just a loss of words. I couldn't eat anything the rest of the day. I mean, that's just how much the movie impacted me. Yeah, I even got my own skate team. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Oh, such an underrated movie. It did so horrible in the box office, but yeah, it was such a fun movie. Now let's talk the Scream movies. Obviously, the first one, my favorite of the franchise. Surprisingly, one of the best horror films. Scream 2, which gets a lot of crap. I don't know why. I still think it's a pretty good thriller. I mean, is it as good as the first one? Probably not, but I mean, it's still a good movie to watch. And then we got Scream 4, which is surprisingly better than I expected it to be. And I don't own Scream 3. I did not like that. We have 7, one of my all-time favorites. Still today my favorite David Fincher film. Double feature of Shanghai Noon, Shanghai Nights. Not a big fan of Shanghai Nights, but I do like Shanghai Noon. Shaun of the Dead, one of my all-time favorites right there. That was a big surprise there. She's out of my league. The Shawshank Redemption, one of the all-time best movies of all time. Sherlock Holmes. Shooter. The Shrek trilogy. I'm not gonna hurt ya. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. Here's Johnny. Oh, one of my all-time favorite horror films. And finally, guys, Sicario. The guy that directed Prisoners, guys. The guy that directed the movie Prisoners also directed this movie too. Denis Villeneuve, if I pronounced that right. Great thriller, guys. Great action movie. I highly recommend you guys check this out. Spectacular film with Benicio del Toro and Emily Blunt. Great performances by them. So, alright guys, so that's part 3 of my entire Blu-ray collection, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in part 4, and I'll show you the rest of my standard Blu-rays here. Alright guys, I'll see you then.